friends, I guess it's time to say goodbye. If you're new to the channel, I'm Katrina with Homegrown Florida, and normally my content is about gardening in warm climates, preserving food, cooking with it, all those fun things, but we're switching things up for a very brief period of time. We are headed out on our annual RV trip. We leave for 2 months, 2 to 3 months at a time, and I completely abandoned the garden, and I've done a bunch of videos before I left on how I go about getting the garden ready for when I leave. So while we get the kitchen of the RV ready for our trip, I thought I would give you a little bit of update on what's going to happen in the garden and on the channel while I'm gone. In preparation for the trip, I did go through and I pre-recorded a bunch of really good videos. I think you're really gonna like them. Probably my favorite one that I recorded was holiday gift ideas from your garden. That one was so much fun to film. But I also had some really good ones about like different kinds of vegetables and varieties that I grow typically in my winter garden and what I planted out before I left. I'm also hoping to get a couple videos done on the road. There's a couple really cool gardens and farms that I want to visit that look like they would be pretty interesting. If you were around last year when I took this trip, I ended up going to Baker's Creek where they have like their own seed store. They have all the farms where you can see where they grow all their seeds. They have like a restaurant, an apothecary. It was so much fun, and I shared that with you guys in a video. I'm hoping to do something similar. Now, as far as like content while I'm on the road that is not gardening content, like RV type content, travel type content, I'm not going to be doing that. YouTube especially, but YouTube and some of the other social media accounts are really sensitive when you try to change up your content, and then the algorithm gets kind of messy, and when it stops locating the right people to watch your channel, and it starts kind of pushing you to other people. And since RV and travel is not my typical content, I didn't want to confuse anybody and start doing that content. But if you are interested in following along, I will be posting like some pictures under the YouTube community tab, like the post section. You can see that on your mobile under subscriber tab, or if you're watching on like a TV or a computer, I think you actually have to go to my Homegrown Florida YouTube page to see my community tab. Besides the pictures on YouTube, I'm also going to be doing like actual updates, video and pictures on Instagram stories as well as Facebook stories. So if you haven't had a chance yet, make sure to go follow me over there. I'm really excited about some of the things we're going to be putting out, showing you, what life is like on the road. Probably some of that content is going to be things like cooking in a small space. So I think that might be interesting for some of my, apartment living folks, or maybe you are into van life or RVing and you want to know how to kind of cook in a small space. I do a lot of that while we travel. We don't actually eat out a lot when we travel. It's actually more economical for us to cook our food inside of our RV rather than trying to eat out 3 meals a day. When we travel, we do go a lot of off-grid situations. So there's many times that we are not going to be in cell service or Wi-Fi. And I know many of you send me comments on all my videos. I love them. I love commenting. I love talking to other gardeners. I'm a big geek about it. But I just wanted to make you aware that if I don't respond back, it's just because we're in an area that doesn't have Wi-Fi or cellular, which is a little surprising in this day and age that that's such a thing. But the way that we like to travel is we usually stop at like every single national park and national forest that we possibly can, and those are the ones that typically have zero service. And so in those situations, if you don't hear back from me, don't worry guys, I am still around, and once I do get connected back to service, I will respond to your comments. I should be back by the new year, I would expect, somewhere around there. We don't necessarily have a schedule. We're very spontaneous when we travel, so we don't necessarily have a schedule. We hope to be back by the new year, So when I get back, I'm very excited to show you how the garden does. Completely neglected, nobody helping. We do have a yard guy that comes and he's going to cut the grass, but that's mainly so that we don't upset our county and have like super tall grass. He doesn't actually do anything for the garden. He kind of just works around it. So it will be interesting to see how the garden does. Usually when I get back, I usually have about a 50% loss, but I did things a little bit different this year where I tried to start plants a little bit outside of their window of when to start them so that they are older when I leave. And my hope is that them being older means that they will be able to stand on their own rather than maybe direct seeding them or immediately transplanting and leaving. So we're going to see if those slight adjustments have made it better for when I'm traveling. And it will give you an idea of when you're going to go on vacation, how to manage your garden while you're gone. Because believe it or not, I've left for 3 months and come back to big harvest. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit the alert so that you're notified whenever my videos come through. And that way you don't miss out on my video where I return and I show you exactly how the garden does. Happy gardening, guys!